Straight ahead on CCX News, a milestone day in Plymouth. We'll show you one blood donor's incredible gift that keeps on giving. Plus, a police alert in Plymouth, what homeowners should know after a string of burglaries in different parts of the city. But first, a discussion on gun safety, where it could lead to next in the city of Golden Valley. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. The issue of gun control has now made its way to Golden Valley.
This week, the mayor and council raised questions about what role the city can play with regards to gun safety and gun control in schools and around the community. Delane Cleveland joins us now to explain. Hi, Delane.
Alex and Shannon, this discussion came up after some of the recent high-profile shootings that have happened nationally. Now, Golden Valley is taking steps to see what, if any, changes to gun laws should be made at a city level.
I think what we're finding is that residents are getting more and more frustrated about the lack of progress on the national level, even on the state level, and they're turning to our local leaders and they're saying, we want you to do something, we're looking for leadership.
But exactly what kind of leadership Golden Valley can provide regarding gun safety is a big question. Under Minnesota law, cities and counties have limited power to regulate guns and essentially have to abide by the rules set forth by the state legislature. In nearby St. Louis Park, the mayor there has brought up the idea of disregarding state law and fighting the state in court. But Golden Valley officials aren't quite ready to put up that kind of fight.
Golden Valley, it certainly is a different community, and we're just at a preliminary stages and again trying to ask questions at this point rather than having any strategy or confrontational situation. This isn't political for us. This is about responding to residents' questions and concerns.
At a future meeting, Golden Valley hopes to bring in local experts such as law enforcement, school district officials, and members of the state legislature to get a better sense of what's needed and what the city can do regarding gun regulations. Alex and Shannon?
All right, thank you, Delane. Now to a police alert in Plymouth.
Police there are investigating a recent string of residential burglaries.
Over about the last 5-day span, we've had anywhere between 8 and 10, we're thinking.
The crimes are taking place in two different parts of the city, the northern part and toward the southwest. One of the incidents occurred off 34th and Garland Avenue North. Police say the burglaries happened during evening hours when police were at home, or people were at home rather. They say the burglar or burglars forced their way into homes, in some cases kicking in front doors. Some victims report hearing a noise and then seeing a person fleeing the scene.
You know, maybe shelter yourself in a locked room and call 911 and, you know, try to get as good a description of the person or persons as you possibly could. You know, because really, I mean, our response time is pretty quick to something like that. So, you know, if we can get a good description of someone, if they flee the area, you know, always use good judgment if you're actually going to confront someone, just because you have no idea who you're confronting.
Right now, police are still gathering reports from victims to determine what items were taken. There are no suspects in custody, and if you have any information, you're urged to call Plymouth Police.
There's another LimeBike update and a reason why Golden Valley residents still aren't seeing lime green bicycles in their city. Officials with California-based LimeBike tell CCX News that difficulties finding a warehouse to store all of the bicycles has held up the company's attempt to test out its dockless rental bike services in Golden Valley. The rollout was supposed to start in April. Now we're told the bikes will be made available later this month. Golden Valley is the first city in Minnesota to sign on with LimeBike. There's no cost to the city. People find the bikes through an app, and the company maintains all of the bikes. Another reason for the delay is the company could not find enough workers in the Twin Cities to run the operation.
Amazon's largest seller of cold brew coffee will soon relocate its main headquarters to Brooklyn Center.
It's a big milestone. We got to have our own spot. We got to design it. We got to really make it look and feel the way we wanted. So that was a big accomplishment for us as a business.
Bizzy Coffee is a 3-year-old company that bottles organic cold brew coffee shots. The company is currently housed in northeast Minneapolis, but starting in August, Bizzy Coffee will move into a 7,000 square foot space in a Brooklyn Center industrial park. Bizzy Coffee's co-founder says Brooklyn Center was a good fit for the growing company.
The space was really good. The city's been great to work with. They helped a ton as we applied for a MIF loan, so we got some support from them, which we thought was a huge deal. And we kind of like the location. It's in the right part of the Twin Cities.
After moving into Brooklyn Center, the company plans to grow its product line, get into more grocery stores, and add about 24 employees over the next 2 years. One area man reached a special milestone today.
He's one of the top donors in Memorial Blood Center's history.
Good morning. Good morning.
For Ralph Douglas, it's almost like coming home. Every other Friday, like clockwork, Ralph is here at Memorial Blood Centers in Plymouth to donate platelets.
The gift of life that he's giving to lots and lots of patients is huge, unexplainable how grateful we are for him.
He's been doing it so long
I've been donating blood for about 40 years.
that he's considered somewhat of an MVP around here. 5 years ago, we showed you his major donation milestone that few people reach.
70 gallons of blood.
But today's achievement is even bigger.
His 100th gallon, he's awesome. He's one of the best donors I've ever met.
100 gallons of anything is a lot, but 100 gallons of blood?
That's huge. There's only 3 donors in the company that have done that.
Not bad for a guy who started his donation career back in high school for a different reason.
They had a female come up and say, who was willing to donate blood? This female was extremely attractive, quite frankly. All the guys lined up.
But knowing how many people he was helping kept him coming back. He knows blood donations save lives. He's met one of the people they saved, a former police officer.
He told me about being shot in a bank robbery and almost dying. And then he said, people like you saved my life because there was platelets and blood available. And then he started crying and said, can I hug you? And I said, yeah, I think that'd be a real good idea. And we just cried like 2 little kids. It was one of those defining moments. I thought, as long as I've got health, I'm going to be here.
And beyond the reward of helping people that keeps Ralph coming back every 2 weeks, there's also his fondness for the people who work here.
Yeah, got a lot of friends here. Got a lot of friends.
And the staff feels the same way about Ralph.
I feel like we have a personal relationship. He knows a lot about my family and stuff like that. He's just a generous person. He's always happy, always outgoing, very easy to please. All around just a great guy.
Ralph says he will keep donating as long as he's healthy enough to do it. And Memorial Blood Centers is always looking for people to follow in his footsteps. If you'd like to donate, check out our website, ccxmedia.org, for more information. Good for Ralph.
Incredible. There's a reason they know his name,
Oh,
right?
what a milestone. Still ahead on CCX News, a tradition for 25 years in Robbinsdale that's now set to change. We'll explain.
Plus, we'll take you out to the start of the nation's largest youth soccer tournament, USA Cup. That's later in sports.
But first, a chance for some spotty thunderstorms, but it should stay mostly dry this weekend.
Showed up right in time to delay the start of Thursday's Maple Grove Days parade. People always show up for this parade, and faithful parade watchers were not disappointed. After a 30-minute delay, the parade did roll on. Some bands marched in t-shirts and shorts so that their uniforms didn't get wet. Others just kept their drum line in the parade. And of course, as part of every parade, the CCX media crew came out to engage some fans and pick out a few CCX fan selfies to show during the broadcast. And here are the winners from Thursday's parade. This lucky group will receive some prizes from CCX. Thanks so much for participating and congratulations. Whiz Bang Days officially kicked off Thursday in Robbinsdale.
The space where the annual ice cream social is held will have a very different look come this time next year.
Whenever there's free ice cream, we get a big crowd.
Any way you scoop it or top it,
chocolate caramel strawberry.
Yummy, yummy.
People will line up for free ice cream.
You know, how can you beat free ice cream on a 95-degree day?
For the last 25 years, Citizens Independent Bank has dished out hundreds of free sundaes as part of the annual ice cream social in July. It's an event that brings everyone together. Police, fire, community groups, and residents are all invited, and usually they turn out in droves.
It's just what we do for the community, being a community bank, community business, that it's something it's turned into over the years, kind of the unofficial, official kickoff to Whiz Bank.
But this time next year, this area will have a different look and feel. A developer is buying land around the bank to build a high-end apartment complex called Birdtown Flats. Construction is set to begin this month, with residents moving in as soon as next year. So while the traditional ice cream social may be changing for the sake of progress, organizers say it's definitely not going away.
So next summer we will have it. There'll be a new park here, that there'll be a spot to have it. We made sure with the new development that there'd be an area to have it here.
Organizers for this year's ice cream social were not sure of when construction would begin on the new development, so they had a few backup options in place for the event. But as you could see, Alex, it did go on.
Yes.
And it was a good day for it.
It's a long tradition.
Yes. Still ahead, from food to fireworks, we will preview some of the events going on at this weekend at area festivals.
But first, we'll find out what one of the area's top wrestlers is doing this summer to keep in shape and improve his skills. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
It was a soggy start to the USA Cup Weekend Youth Soccer Tournament Friday. Nearly 500 teams registered to play in the three-day tournament. In the boys 16 and under division, Fusion FC of Plymouth played the WWFC Wildcats from Sparta, Wisconsin. Fusion scored twice in the first 40 seconds, and they had this one late in the first half. Matthew Hudson scores to give Fusion Select a 3-0 lead at halftime. Second half, the Wildcats get one back. Brian Sanchez on the outside cuts towards the net and pushes this shot in for a goal, and it's 3-1. Fusion holds its lead, and they add to it late. Aaron Jong chips the pass to Nicholas Figueroa Calder, who scores the final goal of the day. He scores twice. Fusion wins 4-1. The USA Cup weekend continues through Sunday with a longer USA Cup tournament starting play on Tuesday morning. The Gopher Classic American Legion Baseball Tournament got its start with 8 teams back in 1977. Now in its 41st year, the tourney has grown to 96 entries. Hopkins is one of them. The Flyers are hosting games at Big Willow Park and we're scheduled to play Egan at 9 a.m. Friday. But as was the case at some of the other 15 sites this morning, the game was rained out. Every team is scheduled to play 5 games in pool play this weekend. Hopkins and Egan now will each play just 4. Pool play winners at the 16 metro area sites advance to Monday in the tournament playoffs. Wayzata is a defending champion of the Gopher Classic. High school athletes in the northwest suburbs are hardly idle in the summer months. Whether it's traveling for competition or just plain hard work in local gyms, they're looking to improve. Over the next several weeks on CCX Sports, Jay Wilcox takes a look at some of the ways top athletes in the area are spending their time. Here's the first, What I Did This Summer.
This week on What I Did This Summer, we meet a young wrestler who's already a state champion, but getting plenty of mat time in this summer to get even better.
Come here getting better after just state title, but still want to work for more.
Joey Thompson isn't resting on his laurels. Thompson went undefeated and became Maple Grove's first state wrestling champ when he captured the Class 3A 106-pound title as a sophomore this past season. He doesn't dwell on it, but it was a great feeling.
It was really special. I mean, just knowing that I accomplished one of my goals before high school season's done, or before I go to college, and yeah, that was very special.
Thompson spends a lot of hours training at Pinnacle Wrestling Club in Roseville.
It's about an hour and a half per session, but we work pretty hard in that hour and a half. You go through a lot of drilling, technique, and a bunch of live.
While wrestling is pretty much a year-round sport for Thompson and a lot of the top guys, he knows that you can't go all out for 12 months straight.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out like right after season. You kind of like wrestled a lot and all that, so you kind of like slowly start coming back into it, and then slowly just start picking up the pace and get ready for the next year and just get better every day.
Weight classes and making weight are a fact of life for wrestlers. Joey says he doesn't obsess about what he weighs all through the summer though.
I watch it, but I also don't want to just like not enjoy wrestling, and I just, food's amazing, and you just can't give up on food.
In addition to workouts at Pinnacle and various tournaments, Thompson also attends several camps. Sometimes he gets to do a little coaching.
I helped out at Augsburg with Pounce, and it's a great experience just helping out little kids. You know, they're just the next step behind us, and yeah, it was great.
This week, Thompson is at a camp at Augsburg as he and many of Minnesota's best train for nationals in Fargo.
I think it's probably the biggest thing because this is what we work for all year long.
For What I Did This Summer, Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Joey's pre-national camp wrapped up earlier this week. Also, Thompson's family has moved and he's leaving Maple Grove High School. He'll attend Totino Grace next school year. That's it for sports. We're back with more in a moment.
This weekend is a busy one for local city festivals.
Whiz Bang Days, Maple Grove Days, and Duck Duck Days are all going on. Neil Persley takes a look at some of the weekend fun in today's Weekend Showcase.
If you can stay in town this weekend, it is the trifecta of festivals. Maple Grove Days is underway. Back in Robbinsdale, they have Whiz Bang Days, and right here in New Hope, well, it's time to get your duck on, baby.
What's new, we're really excited about this year, is the petting zoo. Petting zoo is going to be on Sunday afternoon from noon to 5, and we'll have horses, we'll have sheep, some pot-belly pigs for the kids to go and pet, and it's $1 admission to get into there.
There will also be new food vendors, and the bingo tent is moved onto the grass, which will make that a lot cooler. And of course, the carnival rides. Whether you like to whiz or bang or both, Whiz Bang Days is rocking in Robbinsdale, and tonight starts the weekend with their block party under the water tower. And over in Maple Grove, there is simply too much happening to name everything.
In the evening, we have a whole lineup of children's events, kitty parade and diaper derby, and there's nothing more special than watching a little diaper derby going across the grass, right? And then we just, keep flowing from there all the way through right into Saturday. The town green is filled with local groups performing just right here Saturday. So then you move over to the community center and you've got some inflatable rides and the Lions corn feed.
Don't forget the classic car show.
Car show is along Main Street, and always a really good turnout. So we're expecting a lot of cars this year. So if you enjoy the classics, they'll be there.
And last but not least, fireworks. Duck Duck Days in New Hope has them Friday and Saturday night. Maple Grove Days has them Saturday night, and Whiz Bang Days in Robbinsdale has them Sunday night. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Neil. So I guess if you can't find anything to do this weekend, it's your own fault.
It's your own fault, that's true.
There's lots going on.
There's so many options this weekend. Hopefully good weather,
yes,
too.
Crossing our fingers. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.